We've had a fairly good start this morning. We've managed to get 2 fish so far. Both have been caught on topwater boats, fishing the Z-Man Z2, striking Z2, and we've been fortunate. John's got one, I've got one. So we hopefully, as the day wears on, we will be lucky enough to get so that we can get a limit. Looking at the boats around us, so far we haven't seen a single other fish come in, so I think we're very fortunate at the moment. During our practice season, practice times, we didn't even get a bite, whereas we heard that some of the other chaps were getting some good fish. We can only hope as the day wears on that things get better, and yeah. So this is what we've managed to do our damage with, the striking Z2 Arkansas Shiner. We've been twitching it on the top, and that's how it is.
That's not bad, D-bomb. How's it, guys? We started out this morning. Heard the conditions are quite tough out here. We found a little population of fish and got a couple of small ones to start the day off. And then we moved out into the middle of the dam section here. We found some cucumber, a little piece of timber. We got quite lucky with the big one. I'd say close to 3 kilos, maybe a bit bigger. I'll give you guys a quick look. You can have a look at this giant we got for Woodstock. Very impressive fish. It's a very special fish for Woodstock. Absolute giant.
Reports are saying from the other camera boat, we're hearing that it's very, very quiet. Just a bit of insight into Mosbear so that you guys, the viewers out there, know who Mosbear is. Mosbear is a company in South Africa that one of their main lines that they do products and spares for household equipment, industrial equipment, your lawnmowers, brush cutters and things like that. They do sort of aftermarket spare parts. They're also distributors for Tandem. Tandem manufacture lawnmowers, brush cutters, chainsaws and other industrial sort of construction equipment and things like that. The brands that Mosbear do is Oregon. So Mosbear is the national distributor for Oregon. Oregon does bars, chains and products like that for chainsaws and timber harvesting.
Well, it's been quite a tough day for Team Husqvarna once again, but we hear that it's been pretty tough all around. Kevin and I started in a spot we identified a few weeks ago, and we got one good fish early on, about 7:30, probably about 1.5 kilos on a Strike King shimmy stick. Gave me a pretty good fight, and we were quite upbeat after that, but that was the last bite we've had. So it's been an interesting day. We've tried a lot of different things. Water temperature seems okay, but the conditions, fishing conditions, just don't seem to be right at the moment. But with everybody battling, we hear one boat's got bag limit so far, so we're sticking it out in a tried and tested spot on the island. We've seen and heard of a couple of other guys that are around here, but we're short of 4 fish, so we're going to give it a go and hope to goodness that we get them.
Another tough day at Woodstock. We obviously came here with a game plan just to get 5 fish. Early morning, made our way up to the banana bridge, caught 2 fish there. Then it just died down. Then we came down just sort of
Past the island.
just past the island. 3 quick fish and then just died down again. But yeah, game plan was to get 5. So mission accomplished.
Caught quite a few on Strike King Z2. We also fished the Shikamba, and then unfortunately when the cameraman got on the boat to take a couple of pictures of us, he brought an omen with him, and it just went dead. And then eventually at about 1:30, throwing a rage bug, we managed to eke out a few, and with that we broke the curse. So we ended up coming 4th overall. We did get a few on rage bug, but overall it was a very, very hard day. Thanks.
Not like it was for some guys.
Yeah.
We started off this morning, we ran right to the end of the dam. Not much happening there. So we started to zigzag backwards all the way back up to the middle of the dam. We slowly got one fish in the shallows. Lloyd caught a big fish on a drop shot and a shaky head in the shallows. We found the fish that moved right up into the grass. It was hard fishing. We only got 2 fish in one place. The rest we just slowly as we went along.
Okay, so we had a bit of a tough start this morning. Found a few fish in practice and went to go and hit those fish, but unfortunately they were off the bite. We didn't get anything on our first spot, which we were really relying on. So sort of midday we just I said to Ryan, listen, I've got another spot, let's just go and give it a bash. The average size of the fish in our second spot was very small. So we were just looking for numbers, and it was almost like a switch happened, and our better fish had moved into that area. And probably within the last hour we just caught probably 40-50 fish. It was crazy. It was probably one of the best days that we've had on the water. Yeah, it was just I mean we arrived there with 1 fish and left there with a bag and a really good size, and caught a lot, so it was good fun. Yeah. So we were fishing in the Chikamba, pattern that we picked up in practice, and it was working well. What we really needed was the heat. And it was a little bay that was protected by the wind, so it was very calm, and it was really warm in there, and it just those fish just came on, and it was brilliant. Yeah, it was awesome. Okay, so and the bait that we were using was a Texas rigged Strike King swimming caffeine shad, and just throwing it in, letting it go to the bottom, and then just cranking it back, and it just really annoyed those fish, and they just smashed.
Alright, we didn't have a chance to practice, but we typically knew that the fish would be on Chikamba at this time of year. We try to find some Chikamba mixed with rock. We had a really good start this morning. We got onto an area and put 4 fish very quickly on the boat. From there it slowed down a bit and we moved around to a couple of our other spots, and then we got lucky. We managed to get a proper dog for this dam. We landed a 3.7 kg bass, which is a very special fish for this dam. The baits that we used, we were just pitching Texas rigged D-bombs into the cucumber and basically just letting it sit down. Anytime we felt some crunchy rock or anything, we'd pause it and those bass would just hammer it, and basically that's what we did most of the day. Put a couple of fish on the boat and ended up with a 2nd place. We're very chuffed with our finish, and yeah, looking forward to the next event. Joey's has done a fantastic job with hosting the event, and we're very, very happy with the organisers and what they're doing. Yeah.
Right guys, the brutal day on the dam. Unfortunately, Paddy nor myself could get out here to have a decent practice. We just picked up what we heard from via the grapevine. What we eventually found the fish on was what Ryan and Ryan caught their fish on was the striking swimming caffeine shad, but we were fishing it. I started having more bites weightless, and then as the wind picked up a little bit, then we had to go to the Texas rig, but it was both the 4-inch and the 5-inch. And I found that the bite was a little bit better on a particular color, KVD Magic. Yeah, so very thankful that Mospe is involved in our sport, and I'm grateful that they're backing us. And see you guys at the next event. Hopefully it's a bit better fishing for us. Yeah.